Hello, folks. Welcome to Earworms, or welcome back to it if you've been with us before. If you haven't, don't worry, we'll be gentle on you this evening. Last week, we finished part 3 of our series on Blade Runner, 3 parts long, and we were featuring Rutger Hauer in that episode. We inflicted some AI art on him and everything. And at that time, Jay, one of our co-hosts, did mention that Rutger Hauer was in a film called Ladyhawke. That also starred Matthew Roderick and Michelle Pfeiffer. It had an interesting storyline. I had never seen it, but in the brief summary, I thought I'd check it out. And this week, with all the ideas that were being thrown about what we should cover, I decided to go ahead with that one because I did a little research and found that the music was composed by Andrew Powell, who was also someone I hadn't heard of before, but I looked at his discography and all the works that he had worked on. And this guy's a top-notch composer, great arranger, and all-around musician that plays piano, organ, keyboards, drums, bass, and guitar. He's a rhythm section all in and of himself. And he's played with some major heavyweights. And the music was produced by Alan Parsons. And we are the Wayfarer Project, and Alan Parsons had the Alan Parsons Project, a little something going on there together. And it's a great story, and it's definitely a palate cleanser from Blade Runner, but it's a good story, fun movie, and there's a lot to talk about musically, as we do have a future of so many fine films as well as artists coming up in the future. I felt this would be a good fit for the week. Little change of pace, and maybe you get to learn a little bit about a musician who has a very storied career that maybe you haven't heard of before. So without any further ado, I am going to go into stealth mode and do a little less damage with my face. And I need to click.
Hello. Do what?
Am I here? Somehow I wasn't on screen there.
I don't know about that.
All right. So
Good to be
anyway,
back.
I think we're good now. I think we're both here, 2 of us in the sun, and Ladyhawke's flying around. So how are you feeling this week?
I am getting better slowly. I have bronchitis. So anybody knows anything about bronchitis, it takes a long time to get it completely out of your system. But,
I'm sure it does.
Well, if I go on mute for a long time, I'm probably having a coughing attack. Hopefully we'll get through the thing without it.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us, and I'm sure as soon as the rest of the panel's together, we're going to do a little brief recap just to see what you think of Blade Runner. But just hold on a second because we have a few
and
more
I watched
here.
Ladyhawke yesterday, so I'm ready.
All right, homework's done.
Yes.
So here she is, my partner in crime. This is my lady wife, Ladyhawke, Liza Sahido.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hey.
So,
Hello.
I don't know, but I think you were there with me when we were watching Ladyhawke earlier this week, and
Yeah,
I
I
know that
was
one
there.
thing. I know that she'll have some things to say about the score here, because I do have a number of clips from the score. I mean, we are going to be listening to a really talented musician, composer, arranger, and performer in Andrew Powell. But there are some decisions made that I think will give us
Yes.
good.
Yes, brilliant movie, but very strange score.
Okay, well, in
Agreed.
parts, in parts. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, here we go. Last but not least, some might know him as the ruler of the universe. So we're in good company. There he is. We are four.
Indeed.
Or
Yes.
law.
So I guess you might be regretting last week telling me about this film.
I mean, no, I mean, it's a film that I certainly saw plenty of times in the '80s, and there are the beats of it and all that stuff are great. However, I always remembered it as a bit of a like lesser movie. It's not like B movie, but it's not like A list movie, and it never really kind of hit in my head why when I was younger. It's just kind of that's how I perceived it. Watching it this week, it became pretty obvious to me a lot of the reasons that this thing is just like an almost kind of movie.
Well, okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I think it was a good story. The acting was pretty good. Matthew Roderick was a little bit young, but for his age, I think he did a great job. But yeah, I think the music had some
That's
great
what did it.
moments that did not stand out, but it had some very weird moments that did stand out.
Yeah.
And especially kind of date it. Stuff that you wouldn't mind hearing on like an album called the Alan Parsons Project. But
I don't even know if I would.
Of it. I wondered if he just did this music, if he actually watched the scenes he was doing music for.
Precisely. Oh,
That was my impression anyway. I thought, well, it sounds like a good album, but it doesn't fit the movie.
not at all.
It actually
Oh,
sounds like a number of '80s TV theme songs that were rejected
yes.
that he submitted.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
yet
well-
the setting of the movie is not. Might have worked for Ferris Bueller.
well,
Yeah.
let's be
The TV series Ferris Bueller, not the movie. Yeah,
Right. There you go.
right.
Well, to be fair here for the audience, just so they know, the composer is Andrew Powell. Alan Parsons was the producer of the music. But if we look in Andrew Powell's history, which we're about to do here, he does have a history with Alan Parsons, especially the Alan Parsons Project. And then when Alan Parsons went solo, I am about to share with you here my screen where I have a tab open. Rather than going through slides with a bullet point list of accomplishments, we're going to actually look at Andrew Powell's page here.
Oh wait, do we want to ask Mike about his views on Blade Runner first, or do we save those for the end?
Okay, yeah, let's do that first. Let's
Okay.
do that first, especially since that didn't actually come up.
Aha!
But Mike, please, while I work on this, tell us your views on Blade Runner.
Well, I really liked it. Of course, now I got Ladyhawke on the brain, but I did enjoy it. As it seems that I'm going back and watching all these movies that, well, I don't know if I was too stoned or what to see them, but I missed out on them. Actually, by the mid '80s, I wasn't. I was going back to school. So I missed a whole lot of movies, and so it's been fun actually going back.
What'd you think of that soundtrack?
The soundtrack was great.
Yeah.
The special effects were superb.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it was a really good movie.
Yep.
We're very kind of surprised I hadn't seen it since I am kind of into sci-fi stuff. So
Yeah, it's definitely a classic, and then Vangelis is just absolutely killing it, and you really get
oh
the visual style that defines cyberpunk, like to this day, is really established in Blade Runner.
yeah, and the music was very fitting for that movie. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Great timing, gentlemen.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. All right. We got the web page up. This is andrewpowell.com. Isn't it nice when professionals have a website
web
that is their name.com? And now, if you look at the biography page, which we're not going to do, but I'll just give you some brief background. He was born in Surrey in the United Kingdom, and went to school at King's College. It said in Wimbledon and Cambridge, so I guess there are multiple campi. And so he's a Brit, and he has experience performing as well as composing, and he studied a bit with some interesting folks like Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, who, if any of you are familiar with some of the, shall we say, the more hardcore electronic music out there, pieces like, well, a lot of his most famous works by Stockhausen are titles that are things like Study Number 1, Study Number 2, Contacta, and Counterpunta. Really avant-garde electronic music for the time. And throughout the 20th and early 21st century, Karl-Heinz Stockhausen was really known for pushing the envelope, especially with aleatoric music, chance music, where there's a degree of chance as to what's going to happen musically. And so that was an interesting background for someone who then went pretty commercial in what he did. And so here we see a discography, and he's got a legend here because he's a jack of many trades, basically. Arranger is demarked by A, composer, C, which would also include songwriting for those that are songs. Producer, P, G, guitar, D for drums, and of course, I guess you could figure out the rest. It's the first letter of each of those things, except for plus at the end for other. But these are like all the instruments of a rhythm section. And if we start looking through the earlier days, we see maybe some lesser known names. But as you get into the mid 70s, you start seeing some names that you recognize. And I do have some music here. I looked up some of the music from these albums and selected songs where he did do on those songs what he what he supposedly does according to this discography. And it's kind of nice to have that since I'm not dealing with physical media here and I don't have liner notes to read. But, we have names in here. One that stood out and surprised me was Sammy Hagar. But there was like 2 albums from Sammy Hagar where he did some orchestral arranging for. Of course, the Alan Parsons Project. We're going to hear an excerpt from that. And
Year of the Cat is a very fine album as well. Al
yeah.
Stewart.
Yeah, Al Stewart, another big name, and Cliff Richard, who is mentioned this week. I think that's someone who did the music for something called The Young Ones in the UK that some of the Brown Alliance folks were talking about.
The Young Ones.
Yeah.
Great show.
And Kate Bush. And to be honest with you, I didn't know Kate Bush went back this far. So that was kind of cool to see, and I have one of her selections coming up here. So let's get to hearing a little bit of music. As you know, we're willing to hand over a little bit of, all of the monetization, just so we could have a good show where you hear some good music.
YouTube.
Yeah, okay. I should make that announcement. Last week, we did something where maybe we played, I don't know what the issue was, for the first 2 episodes of Blade Runner, we were playing audiovisual examples of the score with, in the film itself. But maybe we went a little too long with one of them or something last week. But a stream did get paused for a minute, warning us not to keep it up.
Yeah.
And then after the stream, YouTube had all the points where all the video clips that I used were indicated and said, all right, you're going to have to cut these out in order to keep the video up. So I did that. It did it automatically. And then I left a comment there that the stream can be watched and heard in its entirety on Rumble, Odyssey, and Kick, because we do stream to those 3 platforms at the same time and make sure that the videos remain up there. And those platforms seem to have a better understanding of copyright law and the allowance of fair use. Just some future warning, if folks catch some of the videos and things are missing, look in the comment section, because anytime that happens, I will link to the video on Rumble, maybe also Odyssey. Kick is a little weird. It's going to take some time, I think, before Kick catches up with its user interface and making things nice for the viewer. But we are on it, so when that happens, we're there. But anyway, I just needed to give you that FYI. So let's go on with some music here. I'm going to start off here. I have Cliff Richard's first, and this will be something where Andrew Powell did arrangements. And so this is a song called
Miss You Nights.
Yes, Miss You Nights. And we actually get a video too. Wow. Maybe I should get that off screen. Any way to do that?
I don't have any idea. I'm not.
Don't know.
I don't watch things through YouTube Music.
All right. How about this? Because I don't know, because this is a music video. Who knows with video
wait a minute.
and music?
Cliff Richard's the one that did Devil Woman.
Yeah, but did Andrew Powell contribute on that one? I
I
don't
don't
know.
have any idea. Did he do the album or did he do the song? You're the one that looked at it on the list.
Yeah, without memorizing every song that Cliff Richard does. In which
No,
ones.
if you look, it actually says like whether it's album or single on that list for Powell on Powell's website.
Okay. I believe this is just single. So let's see here. Oh man. Cliff Richard, where are you?
There you go. Album, I'm Nearly Famous.
Yeah, but this is Miss Unite.
Yes, which is 1976, same as I'm Nearly Famous.
And it
album,
says
but-
single. So,
Yeah, but look right above it. It's 1976. I'm Nearly
Okay.
Famous album.
I'm nearly
But he may have
famous.
just had a single track off of that album.
Yeah, that's what's weird. But in both cases, it's arrangements. Well, are you saying you prefer that more?
I don't care. It just struck me. I was like, oh my god, that's Cliff Richard.
So let's call
The
up a
one song I know, which isn't this one.
Well, let's call it up because I didn't know any of these, to be honest with you. Let's do that. Cliff Richard, what's the name of the song?
Devil Woman.
Devil Woman. All right. We aim to please here. All right. And this doesn't have a video, so we might get away with it.
I've had nothing but bad luck since the day I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past.
We have this slow part, and we hit the actual area that people always remember.
And I knew it was a spell she cast. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind.
And then we just revert back to the same cycle.
All right. So what I'm going to do is pause it right there because there are some of these where you can actually hear orchestra in it. But for those that are, shall we say, born in the 21st century and maybe don't go back this far, there were these things called arrangers that were sometimes used when someone would write a song and a performer was going to perform it as the vocalist. You know, they would call them the recording artist. And you actually needed someone to take a song written by a songwriter and then write it out for all the instruments. Those are the physical objects that musicians used to hold and like strum or hit with a stick or pluck with a finger. And those things, a lot of those people called session musicians actually were paid to be able to come in, read music, and play it right like the first time or definitely by the second time in order to make this stuff happen.
In any style.
Yes. And so you had these things called arrangers that needed to write out the parts well for that instrument, because maybe they got something that was just like a tape recording of someone banging it out on piano and singing it, but an exec said, hey, that's great, we need that. And it's like, okay, we need to make it sound perfect now. So the arranger would need to write out piano parts the way that that performer would need to read it, write out bass and guitar parts the way they read it. A lot of times maybe just chord changes. Sometimes they need to write out the melody if it's got to be a certain way. And a lot of times the session musicians also would listen to the tape and do it. But the thing is, there was a lot of people involved. It wasn't just one person and GarageBand, you know? So in this day and age, you needed people to do these sorts of things. So even if you don't hear orchestra, if there was an arranger who arranged it, that's probably why. It's because the song was, you know, written in a simple form and it needed to be arranged out for a group. And I just thought I'd put that in there because I am, you know, I was in higher education and a lot of my students were of the time period where they they didn't know what an arranger did.
Having musicians is overrated.
Well, there's pros and cons to it. But anyway, this is a cool one, and I think Mike will like this song. Alan Parsons Project. This is from an album that's based on the works of
Edgar Allan Poe.
There we go. And this first one, after the narration ends, I heard it and I was like, oh, it sounds like Mike's playing there. So here we go.
Great album.
Oh, Mike.
A Dream Within a Dream.
I'll take that
For
comparison.
my own part, I have never had a thought which I could not set down in words with
Orson
even more
Welles.
distinctness than that which I conceived it. There is, however, a class of fancies of exquisite delicacy which are not thoughts, and to which as yet I have found it absolutely impossible to adapt to language. These fancies arise in the soul, alas, how rarely, only at epochs of most intense tranquility, when the bodily and mental health are in perfection, and at those mere points of time where the confines of the waking world blend with the world of dreams. And so I captured this fancy, where all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream.
Now, I'm going to pause it right there. Just kind of remember that flute line and the harmony with it. A real simple harmony, kind of like a sustained note and kind of like a modal harmony. It sounds very similar to something in Ladyhawke that I'll be pointing out. And kind of like a Native American sort of style with the mode being played there. And I kind of think, because for this album I did check beforehand, he does have a C listing as in composer for the album. I don't know, if it means every piece on the album or just some. But I have a feeling from this idea, I think he was involved in the writing there. But you can also hear, I heard some orchestral instruments in there mixed in. So, I mean, this guy has the chops for writing for chamber music and orchestra. And
I
Yeah,
still
well,
think it's one of the best Alan Parsons Project albums myself.
uh-huh.
It was the first, but
Mm-hmm.
now I want to go back and listen to it. I'm going to have to dig it out.
Oh, you have it?
Well, I got a digital. I don't have
Yeah.
the original album. I had it in one day at one time.
Well, if you go to, I mean, for me, I've been going to music.youtube.com on a computer, not using the YouTube Music app. On the YouTube Music app, you get ads out the wazoo, but on the computer, I've been able to play all these things, and I haven't had an ad yet. If I go to music.youtube.com and search.
It's an excellent album for anyone who hasn't listened to it.
All right. I'm going to keep moving forward unless somebody has something to say. I mean, I am going to listen to more of this album tonight, in fact, and there may be more music talk next week after there's more listening. But let's see here. Sammy
I
Hagar.
presume you're not going to be listening to the Ladyhawke soundtrack album more. And,
Ay, ay, ay.
There's some moments.
It's not that the music is bad necessarily. It just doesn't fit the movie.
It depends on which score. I mean, there are moments where it's an orchestral score. It's
Yes.
just great. But it's just like anytime someone gets on a horse and is about to ride somewhere, then it's more like boom.
It made no sense.
Where's the bloody coconuts?
it sounds it is the thing that I have a problem with in the soundtrack is it's awfully generic and very much of its time. There are times where I was like, is MacGyver going to show up, because it's starting to sound a lot like the MacGyver soundtrack,
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
theme
it
song,
sounded
right?
like
Yeah.
TV music,
Right.
definitely.
And it's kind of the again, I like this movie. I've always kind of been a fan of it, mostly because of the story. Michelle Pfeiffer is magnificent in it. Rutger Hauer is Rutger Hauer, so he does all right. But it's like everything in this movie is 3/4, right? So it's we have as our stars, not quite stars. They're 3/4 stars, right? They're not like B, and they're not character actors. They're nearly they like tried to be stars, and then like in Rutger's case, it didn't really work out. Michelle does a little better, going forward. But like even the character actors. So I mean, Matthew Roderick is not an especially good star, even though he had already done War Games previous to this. And by the way, there's 2 people from War Games in this. The Bishop was Professor Falcon in War Games. He is also a good actor who never quite got big, right? He should have been, because I mean he definitely has all of the skills or whatever. The guy who plays the monk was, if you were a kid watching PBS, you would have saw Rumpole of the Bailey, and he is a fantastic actor. But again, just at least in U.S. and in Hollywood style, never really had a big career. Now you do have a special guest appearance by Alfred Molina, who goes on to do some decent stuff. But at this point, I think the only other thing I would have saw him in was Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he dies in the first 5 minutes. And then he's in this one where he dies after, like, you see him in 2 or 3 scenes and then he's dead.
Yeah.
It's just, and then the effects are like 3/4 of the way there. The extras are very clearly Italian and dubbed. And the ADR is a bit sus. The settings are great because they're using actual castles in Italy. The transformation.
It's supposed to be France, but I guess
Right.
they both had Alps. They both had Alps.
Yeah, well, that's Europe. It all looks same to us. It's like 3/4 of the way to being a really good movie, and just in every aspect is like 3/4 of the way there, to include the soundtrack.
Now,
Well,
I think the Hawk gave a stellar performance.
I thought so, yeah. Although it really could have hid the leather straps a little better, but I mean, you
Yeah,
didn't.
Yes, yeah.
That's makeup.
well, I
Or
want to
something.
at least put this on screen so we have something relevant to the movie there. You know what? Maybe we should get to the movie, but I got to at least squeeze in Kate Bush. I guess Sammy. Oh, all right. Real quick. Very quick. Because this is not typical Sammy Hagar. In fact,
Sometimes everything works out okay, and sometimes it seems to go the other way. But it really don't matter at all. It depends upon how quickly you rise when you fall. So make sure you don't stay down too long. Sometimes.
all right, there we go. So it sounds like at that point in his life, he could drive 55.
This is
Probably did.
how far
it's
have you
an
fallen,
Oscar.
Sammy?
I think it's AI.
Yeah,
This
what
is-
the hell?
This was early Sammy. He even had brown hair.
No, that's not early. Early
No.
is Montrose, Sammy, where rock candy is being. And then we go to this easy listening BS. This is terrible.
I tell you, I saw him as the Red Rocker. He opened for Boston
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. Not quite as far back as Montrose. That's when he went on his own.
Right.
This is not him.
Yeah. Again, I defy you to listen to Rock Candy and then listen to this and tell me it's the same guy. That's
Well, actually, he's playing. Actually, these days he's playing Rock Candy again. I actually heard like a recent performance of it, at least a recording, and it was pretty good. But yeah, I guess he was trying something different. Then who knows? But I was like, wow, this is weird. Okay, Kate Bush with Whales.
Oh, there we go.
You'll find me in a Berlin bar, in a corner brooding. You know that I go very quiet when I'm listening to you. There's something special indeed. There's something special indeed. All the places where I've seen you shine, boy, something very real, and I feel, honey, it's in me, it's in me, and you know it's for you. Tuning in on
Wish I had a
your
gong.
saxophone.
I hate to cut off the I hate to cut off the saxophone there as a saxophonist, but this is an awesome song, and the sax solo is awesome. It's the kind of tone that I like to hear from tenor sax. And
I can't
man.
stand this Kate Bush album.
oh, really?
Everything is so high that it is like nails on a chalkboard. Wuthering Heights makes me want to put ice picks in my ears.
Okay. Well, this is the one where Andrew Powell was playing piano and keyboards as well as arranging. So anyway, I mean, just seeing the list there, I guess we can just conclude after hearing all this stuff, is that he worked with a lot of the major heavyweights. A lot of times arrangers aren't known, and composers who sometimes are like, maybe songwriter contributors. Sometimes they write the whole thing. Sometimes they're part writer. The way the music industry worked, I mean, you could really have done a hell of a lot of work and still not be known at all because of, people would actually have to read the liner notes to see who you were and everything. So I think we're going to move on to the film because there's going to be more music there as well. Although in that case, this might be the first Earworms where we're not just basking in awe of everything. So I guess that will be a bit of a change of pace.
More basking in awe. That's
What would be a cool project is to AI remove the soundtrack. of this film, the score, and have someone rescore it.
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing, right, Lawrence?
Well, if,
I can be bought.
if someone opened up an endowment and would pay me to do it, maybe. And I'm not saying it's going to turn out great anyway. I mean,
It deserves a better score. It was such a good movie.
I mean, the good news is you could just take most of the Legend soundtrack and then just adapt it to the scenes. And
Ah, yes, you are right about that. That would work.
A name like
Yes.
Ladyhawke, it probably needs somebody with maybe Hawk in their name. I don't know.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
And there
Mike.
were mountains in this movie as well. I'd
Yes.
like to point out.
yeah, I think Mountain Hawk might work out well on that. Now, there we go.
I'll
We
ask
got
you.
We got our first audio clip ready for when we need it, and our video clip is here, our first slide, so we're ready to go. 20th Century Fox and Warner Brothers.
Yep.
I guess one did the distribution on this. Bayona, good to see you.
Hello.
And so here we go. It starts with clouds. I thought, it's pretty cool cloud effects in the beginning, I think. Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox. I don't know who distributed one or the other. Starring Matthew Roderick.
I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers did it on like home video. They did the distribution.
Now, this is not a change of aspect ratio or things like that here. What's happening is it's kind of like lettering, and the letters are kind of like the transparency, and the space between the letters are the black. So that's why as these slides go on, you're going to see black shifting in and out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Rutger Hauer. And when we do some AI this week, we're going to leave him out because I think we damaged him last time. Michelle Pfeiffer, Pfeiffer. Now, she was definitely young in this. Did she do anything before? I'm
She
curious.
was 27 in this.
Oh, wow.
She had already done Scarface. And that was 81 or 83.
Oh, okay.
And oh, by the way, there is a hint of Giorgio Moroder's Scarface theme song, the opening to Scarface in a couple of these scenes as well.
I am going to play this opening in a minute as soon as we get through the credits, because I don't want the video and the audio to line up, because YouTube, you know how they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, Michelle Pfeiffer, and then this is funny because what is this? A Lauren Schuler production, and then afterwards we see it's a
Richard Donner.
A Richard Donner film. He's the director, so it's a Lauren Schuler production, but it's a Richard Donner film.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yep.
Interesting.
Bayona was asking, is this the HD version or the original?
This is HD, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because its proportions are right and everything. That'll be clear as soon as we get past this intro. Oh, there we go. There's a hawk. And I was just playing the credits just in case there's anyone you wanted to point out, but I'll just keep moving. Otherwise,
John Wood is the bishop, and again was in War Games.
And the other gentleman you mentioned probably doesn't get listed here, but he was probably Francesco, right? The guard that.
Cesar. Alfred Molina.
Oh, Cesar. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alfred Molina is the one that hunts for the pelts.
Costume designer was fine. I think he did a good job.
Yeah. Whoever did the swords had very clearly never experienced metalwork.
Yeah, they were definitely a little broader than what they should have been for what.
They're also awfully chrome.
Oh, and the hilt.
Everything. The blades at times look like they're tinfoil hammered into plastic or wood.
Here's our boy Andrew Powell, composed and conducted. And then before that, we saw Alan Parsons. I didn't mention that, but he was the producer of the music. By this time, you know, I guess he really got his name not only from the Alan Parsons Project, but also from being an engineer on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and definitely a heavyweight engineer and producer.
Yes, we're watching Rutger Hauer almost be famous with The Hitcher and Blade Runner and Ladyhawke.
Almost be famous.
Yeah, it's like 3/4 of a star.
I don't know how after that closing from Blade Runner.
Because no one saw the movie.
Uh,
Blade Runner was a flop.
oh well.
There were some pretty good flops in '82, like The Thing by John Carpenter. That flopped.
All right, so I'm moving along quickly here, except there's fading out. And Richard Donner. Anything else? Here they do say, produced by Richard Donner and Lauren Schuler.
But directed by Richard Donner.
Yeah, it's like credit wars. All right, so do you
Well,
know anything else?
Richard Donner should get higher billing, I think.
Oh yeah, what else?
Superman.
Oh, fuck. I'm glad I have you on the panel. It helps out.
He's also done quite a bit of other stuff, but Superman would be the one that's like, yeah, some.
The first one, right? Yeah, the first one was the best one. Although I liked Zod. All right, we have our first musical clip, so we are going to hear. What we're going to hear is the intro music. I'll skip through some of it, but just to give people a taste of like, even in this main theme, we have a little bit of, shall we say, I don't know, cross purposes going on here on the score side.
Yeah, so it's you are expecting. So this is a one thing about early mid '80s is a lot of fantasy movies, and it was, oh my goodness, here comes the fantasy or whatever. Most of them actually have appropriate soundtracks. You can argue that Legend it is experimental by using Tangerine Dream in the U.S. release, and I think it works well because they were really kind of crafting it to be this otherworldly thing. This again sounds like rejected TV, ideas for TV shows. So there's a lot of MacGyver sound in it. There's a little bit of Giorgio Moroder, Scarface. At the beginning of Scarface, not the epic ending or whatever, but it's just like this mix, and it's a mess, but it manages to sound incredibly 1985 generic.
All right. Yeah, not that, of course. That's time.
Well.
But anyway, I'm going to skip ahead here, but we're going to have this with still screen because I can't have both at the same time because it looks like you can only do like 5-second clips or 10-second clips at most with the audio and video lining up. So here we go. There we go. Now this I like.
Right.
This I like. This is almost like what we heard from the Alan Parsons Project album, and that's why I selected that song because there's similarities here, except no flute.
Right, and then it leaves.
Right about here. Well, at some point it's going to come to a rest, and then boom.
See, this is all fine.
Yeah, it is kind of the period with the electronic piano and stuff. It's not like the Tangerine Dream stuff that was kind of like somewhat surreal, otherworldly,
right?
In the sound selection, and some of them trying to mimic some ancient sounds and stuff too. This is definitely the electric piano is saying, "This is what we do right now in the middle."
Yeah, but it's not near as bad as when it actually kicks in when they do the Ladyhawke and show that, and then you get the Yeah, you have like this John Carpenter background chord with the Yamaha DX7 up front.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And now we'll do this courtship. Dun, dun. Yeah, see? Tell me this isn't like MacGyver.
But you notice one thing that is missing here? It's
Creativity?
well, yeah, but also a melody.
So I said, this is generic 80s TV theme song for action things.
Dreadful. Oh.
It sounds like it ought to be in a sport movie or something.
I'm sorry, Mike, I didn't quite hear you there.
I said, it sounds like it ought to be in like a sport movie or something, football or something.
Even those would have a melody.
Well, so you remember in the 80s there was one that was like Models Inc. or something like that, where they were spies, but they actually were a modeling agency, and that was their undercover thing. That's what this sounds like. This sounds a lot like MacGyver. There's a very specific time where you're like, oh, I know. As soon as you would hear it, you're like, I know what year this is, and this is 1985.
But you know what? Something else that sounded 1985 was like the TV show Greatest American Hero. But it still had melody. And like even now when I watch one of those episodes again, it's like in the music and stuff, it sounds very of the period, but there's just more going on. This is just groove box.
Yeah, but that's so Greatest American Hero was 81, and that was actually a pop song. I know. Hit the radio or whatever.
Well, the theme...
This is just generic, whatever the network needed for Action Man thing.
Yeah, but I don't even mean just the theme of the Greatest American Hero. I mean even the score when the show's going on.
Yeah, the background stuff.
It was
the
like
incidentals and all that.
It wasn't just groove without melody. So anyway, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
That's why this is very 1985. Play your pads on your DX7, and maybe you got a little bass line from a Prophet or something like that, and then it's an 808 that's playing the drums, and there I fixed it. Except allegedly he's got a Philharmonic orchestra that's playing behind him.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I lied. There is a melody. It just took a while.
Yeah.
And it sounds like an opening credit roll to a TV show. Like
yes.
Right there. It should be frozen on someone's face, like Quincy or whatever.
Yeah.
The problem is it comes back.
Yeah.
Now, you hear all this stuff going on in the woodwinds there, some pretty serious stuff, and it's like...
so much effort for so little result.
Yeah, I know. It's like nice ideas, but it kind of gets like...
Never have people worked so hard to sound so generic.
Yeah.
Now we're Full House theme song.
Stop there.
On the next episode of Perfect Strangers, we will...
Yeah. I think we'll stop right there because this, also, remember, this is taking place while we're seeing that credit, the sequence of the opening credits going by. So it's like you don't even see much movement other than, the letters moving across. And that's all you see. And you have this like...
Yes. Adam, I haven't become death, destroyer of childhoods.
All right. So, Adam, man, welcome to this festival here. So anyway, this is the first thing we see in the film. We see, it looks like a pile of shit. It is actually Earth, and you see squirming going on and someone talking to themselves trying to get through it. And that would be Matthew Roderick's character, trying to dig through a pile of
Shit.
Mud. Well, yeah, I'm sure that
He
was
was
part
down
of
in the
it.
sewer.
Yeah, he goes down through the sewers, and that's him trying to get into the larger sewer.
Yeah, okay. So it was indeed shit. But then break to like feet of people being hung, so we know there's an execution going on. And there we go. There he is, the Bishop of Aquila.
Boo.
Now,
Professor Falcon.
Aquila. I know that in Latin, isn't the word for eagle aguila or something like that? Aguila.
In Spanish, it's águila.
Okay, Spanish, whatever. Spanish, Latin.
Aquila would be water something.
Yeah, I would think so, but I don't know. Maybe they like eagles too. So anyway, there we go. There's the bishop. We see him looking at, and from this scene, I'm not sure what he's looking at, but I guess it's just people in the church just kind of standing around. You hear Gregorian chant in the background, and it's actually good Gregorian chant, so they did a good job with that. It sounded cool, but you just see people kind of standing around there inside the church. And then we're back in the pile of feces, still working his way through. And up above, we see them basically calling for bring out the next three. So they're conducting hangings right now. Lots of hangings going on outside the church. And he's starting to make his way through. You can see some hands getting through there. And what do we have here? So they're going through the dungeons. They need to hang more people, get the next three. And they're looking for the one called the Mouse. But this gentleman that's in the prison there is telling them that the mouse has escaped the house. And it's not good to be funny with guards. He says he went down the drain to escape the pain. And they didn't like his rhyming, so they decided, okay, you're next. But the idea is, okay, we need to find this guy because we'll later find out no one escapes the dungeons of Aquila. But we see right there, Philippe, the mouse, is escaping. And this is where he points out he feels like he's being born out of his mother. Although I would think he'd be coming out of a much nicer canal than that. Well, maybe.
We don't judge.
We don't. Okay, so we're going to go to 2 here.
2.
So, yes, because we have some music to hear here. Because if anything, I'm thorough.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well,
You're also offline as you put. Oh, there we go.
There are some good elements here, and there are some questions. So the scenes we just saw is what we're going to hear now, musically. There'll be drastic cuts. That was the church scenes, and this is, of course, where he's coming through the muck. So you hear an orchestra doing something films typically do for scenes like this.
The violent violins.
Jay Han.
Yes, sir.
Get the next 3.
Two more.
Hurry up!
Take 2. I want Philippe Gaston. This is the cell, sir. Wrong cell. I want Philippe Gaston, the one they call the Mouse.
The mouse? Mouse. The mouse? He left our house. No mouse today. He's run away. To ease the pain, he's down the drain.
Where is he?
I already told you, gentle lord.
Hang him. Search every sewer, every drain. Find him.
No.
Or Captain Marquet will hang you in his place.
nobody could escape through there.
Okay, and I just wanted to show that because that's an example of what we would consider a normal film score.
Yes.
And you know, and I mean, I love the Tangerine Dream version of Legend, but you know, there was definitely that's a different approach than what we're going to hear later here.
Yep.
Well, we've already heard some of it, but in any case, I mean, that's the thing that confused me because it's like, I mean, was it his decision? I don't know if it was Andrew Powell's decision because he was obviously quite capable of doing, and we're going to have example after example in this of where he's doing something that is quite effective film scoring.
Maybe it was Alan Parsons.
Well, he produced it, I guess, maybe. But anyway, well, this is where the story, let's get back to the story. This is where, basically, I think he's reported that somebody's gone missing. And we see church bells. Oh, actually, I think that's later. He reports that he's gone missing.
No, that was it. When he shows up and he says the mouse is missing, and tells the bishop, and the bishop tells him that,
okay.
You better find him or you're going to be the next one on the gallows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then we see down in the sewer drains stuff happening, and we have another musical example. All right, as time goes on, we'll see a theme develop, I guess. And we load number 3. Some of these I do actually have the footage from the film if they're short enough, but this is not one of them. This comes up here. All right. We're up in the chambers where he Gregorian chant, and he says, you know, you better find this guy or else you're going to be the next one on the gallows. And then we come down here to this.
Yeah. This is the disco Giorgio Moroder without the rhythm section that I'm thinking of.
This is sewer music. And what you're hearing in the background is like actual sewer, I guess, sounds. And the sounds of, you know, the Philippe holding his breath, swimming through the waters of the sewers.
Choices were made. They were
Yeah.
bad choices, very clearly. Again, it just sounds like it's like you know, Adam and I have seen plenty of movies where they use stock footage to, you know, all the time. This was like, okay, we have this pile of rejected TV you know, theme songs. You can use these because they're cheap, and this is what we get.
Maybe that's what happened. I mean, maybe that's what happened. I mean, I was just, well, anyway.
I wonder why you would spend so much money producing a movie and then just ruin it with stock sound or.
Because they went 3/4 of the way. Everything in this movie is 3/4 of the way to doing it
the
well.
hell they did that? They could have really.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what it sounds like. Now, the composing may actually be that bad. There was just, I'm gonna do a thing, and it's current day, and here you go.
Well, I guess they wanted to sound a little bit humorous because he's swimming through sewers, but I don't know.
Right, they're trying to like show that this is a big action thing, and then it goes up like, oh, he's really accomplished something again, and all that. You know, there's this chord progression as it's going or whatever, and it that kind of 70s funk sound without any soul to it, played on a Yamaha DX7, is not compelling.
All right, so here we are outside. We have who we'll find out later is Navarre, but we see him kind of coming together. Basically, the characters of the film, they're just being shown in brief clips here, going back and forth, and eventually the plot does just kind of converge. But at the beginning, it's just clips. But I didn't mind that so much because I was able to kind of glue it all together. That shaft is important.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point,
A
this
bit
is
of
the
setup
first.
and payoff.
Yep. But at
Now,
this point in the shaft, go ahead.
This movie is also unnecessarily long. It is 2+ hours.
No. We'll see if there's some points where there could be a little more efficiency. Maybe some of the horse riding scenes with disco.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, he's trying to get out here, but I wouldn't try to get out right in the middle of the church here. But fortunately, he does eventually get rejected. Little girl sees him, says, "What are you doing here?" Fortunately, none of the adults notice. He's like, "Go away!" But
Then
Mama
her
comes-
mom grabs her, and
yeah, and fortunately for him, he didn't get noticed, but he does get kind of stepped on there.
yep.
Anyway, that forces him to fall, I guess, back down this shaft and back in the drink, and needs to go further. Although, okay, there we are. We're in sewers. Pretty
Yeah.
nice sewers. Maybe from the Romans.
Or music.
All right, we have more music. We like to do that here on Earworms. I think this is the first one we're not, praising the music so much. But, I mean, I do have to say, the composer is a good one. I mean, there's examples of good works by him.
The results aren't, but
Whoops, I loaded the wrong one. I needed to load 3.
Well, that's the thing here. I think we all agree that we like Alan Parsons, but the music.
and the arranger is clearly, talented. He's done
Yes,
good work or whatever, but
exactly.
again, the result is crap.
Well, he's also more than the arranger. The composer really is Powell, but the producer is Parsons. So I'm wondering what, because that indicates a bit of a decision-making role.
Yes.
Now let me see. Is this? No, this looks like what we had before.
The swing funk thing you were playing was after he fell and he goes through the grate and ends up in the moat.
Yeah, I know, but I thought I saw the number 3, so I'm playing 3.
No, you saw the number 4, but
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, we're on number 4.
You guys are invaluable.
well, which can also mean non-valuable. Yeah,
Wait a
this is the
minute.
one that you played.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that one.
Yes.
So we want 5, right?
No, I think you played 4 when you meant to play 3, and now you're playing 4 again.
Okay. Well, let's just go on then.
Exactly.
Moving right along.
Yeah. Trust me, we'll get plenty of opportunities to hear this same music over and over again in this movie.
Oh, at least we got to have a palate cleanser, as I said. Okay, so he does eventually make his way to open waters and splashes out. I guess what we're missing is the thing where he actually was praying to God to help him get through and everything like that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
the one
very
I missed.
unique relationship with God.
Yeah, I guess that's important to the film because that was actually a pretty good idea because he keeps talking to God. He's like, I'm never going to steal again. And that because he thought an alligator or something was coming down the sewer there. And we missed that bit because I played the wrong clip.
But it's very clearly a device that they're using so that he can do exposition dumps. It's annoying that you do exposition dumps, but if you're going to do it, at least be clever, and they're being clever with it.
Yeah, because we learned that he's a thief. That's what he was in for. He promises he's not going to do it again. So it kind of sets up this character where, he wants to be good. He's praying to God and stuff for, help in his life. And he makes promises that he can't keep because, as we'll see soon, he does basically try to do some thievery again. But the bishop says also, all right, so you haven't found him, and that's impossible because no one escapes the dungeons of Aquila. But it looks like someone has, so they gotta wipe him out. And the captain of the guard, who is Captain Marquet, needs to go out and find him. He is a ring kisser, So he's setting out to go and do it. And that's where we get this horse rushing out. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have some music playing soon, because I think this is one of the scenes where we do hear. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. But
Is this
look
the
at
bluesy horse ride? Yeah.
I think it's the same one that we just
Maybe.
heard when he was trying to swim through the water. Essentially, it's kind of that
Oh.
sound.
There was one horse ride that was different from the other one, but it was still as inappropriate as everything else. It was kind of bluesy. It's like, where are we now?
I included that one. But
Oh,
here,
yeah.
I just like, I look at these, it's like the location they selected was great and everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what the thinking was, but anyway, the guards, at least their armor and stuff looks fine. And, I was just including some of these pictures because it's just good to see. Now, here we are. He escapes, so God has shown him favor. And how does he repay God? It's time to do some thievery again. So he's trying to rob a guard there. And,
Well, but he does tell God that God will understand, because God knows that he's weak-willed.
yes. Well, who knows you better than God? And so back to the canal. And then we cut away here to some fine music. Look at the beautiful scenery. And now this is definitely 5.
Yes.
So let's play 5 for sure this time. I can't go back and fix past mistakes, but
We're taking bets on whether it's being played by a DX7.
I think so. I mean, why get another keyboard
Exactly. Yeah.
when you've got one of them already? All right.
Hey, 10 men! What's your name? We're right north to Gavroche. The name of the man who finds Philip Gaston will be brought to the personal attention of the bishop. As will the...
So that's an example of some of the stuff we were just seeing. I decided to include that because I like the you kind of like the muted guitar. It's like all right.
I do love this line though, where he's like, "The man who finds him will be brought to the attention of the bishop, and the man who loses him will be, hanged or killed or whatever." And I was like, "That's you, dude. You lost him." The bishop. It's like he's just making it clear somebody's getting blamed, and it will not be me.
Well, when you're under threat like that, and you're kind of like under threat from the bishop, you got to pass it down. You got to pass the buck down, even though it doesn't really help in the bishop's eyes. It's like,
yeah. And the other thing again, though, is the man. I mean, he's gone. You've all lost him, I guess. Who are we holding individually responsible?
well, he's not completely lost until we're killed. So anyway, there they are launching off after the mouse. And but we see in the bottom left corner there, the mouse does show himself a little bit. And here he is in foggy woods. Beautiful forest in this.
Yeah.
The scenery's great.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the so again the if you look at this like as a still or something like that, you're like, oh, the scenery is fantastic, and the shots are well done. You have lighting and all that, but again, everything is 3/4. The shots are almost entirely static. The camera doesn't move much. And so we're going to set up a great shot. We are absolutely not going to be creative with any of our movements of the camera at all.
Well, yeah, because in this, like Felipe pretty much just walks across.
Maybe it was a budget issue. They had to pay for the horses.
Yeah, it could
I mean,
be.
they did have horses.
Yeah, the horse union is really tough in Italy. You have a real problem with that.
There you go.
Yeah, and this one
Had
was
to
well
cut corners
trained.
somewhere.
And this one was well trained. So anyway, we see we're about to see the convergence of Felipe and Captain Navarre. But they have the sheep and all the villagers, you know.
This is
More
Philippe
thievery.
stealing like all of the laundry and even a guy's shoes from his children.
Yeah, like he tells them to look up there,
Yeah.
and he grabs the shoes that are hanging up to dry, and walks off with them. And the children are like, "He took Daddy's shoes."
I think you meant those were Daddy's shoes.
Yeah. So anyway, but he needs to go in disguise now. So anyway, there we are. Beautiful scenery. And he's basically running through the forest here. Well, there's bits of grass and clearings. And we see
Heading to a
Captain
town.
Navarre. Yeah, heading to a town, and so is Captain Navarre. Actually, Navarre is following him, so it's not just coincidence. We find that out later. And then Philippe is not very smart. He decides he's going to show that he's got a good amount of money, so he shakes his change purse at the innkeeper or barkeep and says, "I want your most expensive drink." And he's going to share with the rest of the crowd there because he's going to celebrate. He's celebrating that he's the first person to escape the Dungeons Aquila. There's some patrons there that are familiar with the dungeons and also happen to be guards.
Indeed.
Like, you should have just kept.
If you could have kept to the forest, you might have had a chance.
Yep. And so they're just kind of roughing him up and about to. We have some music and a theme because he tries to escape, and I think we get some great music for that, like someone trying to escape for their lives. And it's like a medieval period. Guards are after you. They're about to chop your head off, and you're trying to escape. So you need some music that really conveys that. And I think I'll pause a little bit just in case YouTube is bot happy right now.
Indeed.
But I think our audience gets the idea. I don't know if I need to keep.
No, just speed run it through and haha,
Yeah.
no, you got me. No, you don't.
Yeah, let's just.
I
get the
mean,
end.
if we didn't keep I almost checked out of the film because of the music. That's how bad it was.
She thought it was like being like. Did you use the word parody or what was it?
I thought it's like, well, is this supposed to be a comedy and that's why they're using this music because it's supposed to be kind of weird and quirky and funny, but I don't know. Even if it was done on purpose that way, almost
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off with that, but there we go. So it's one of those scenes, an action scene that otherwise was pretty well done, where he tries to escape up here on this trellis and he's walking around, but they're just down there with swords poking at him. And, he knows he's outnumbered. He's stuck. And, of course, the captain of the guard, Captain Marquet, is just clapping his hands. But, the music does not help it. Oh, boy. Is there going to be a part 2 to this?
Yes, yeah. Given how long this movie is, yes, there is. Yep.
Well, I know I'm just wondering if we should do it because it's going to get samey. But the story does get better.
The story gets interesting.
Yeah.
Again, it is a good premise. There are some well written bits, but again, it's 3/4 of the way there. Everything is 3/4 in this movie.
So anyway, Captain Marquet is clapping, saying, good try, but they basically got him, and we're going to see what happens to poor Philippe the mouse in a moment. But until then, we need a bit of a palate cleanser here, so we are going to do something Until our
There's a-
audience submits, when our audience gives up and submits, then with some super chats, then we will basically stop inflicting AI pictures on them. So anyway,
Well,
at
we're
least
screwed
that's
because
what-
common people sleeping one off. We're not seeing him tonight.
Well, at least there's a limited number, so the torture won't be that long.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, hail Inga. She comes with her Datsun and she brings us some photography. Now, are these images of these? Well, let's just put it this way: are these real photographs of real people, or are these AI conjurings? And our first option here is Matthew Roderick himself. Now, we will see him in various stages of life, but are
That's
they
Matthew.
real pictures?
That looks real.
Yep.
I'm wondering how old they're. But anyway.
Well, it's not yesterday.
No. And it's not 1985. What the hell
No,
is that?
Whoa.
They merged him with the other guy from the producers. I forgot what
Nathan
his
Hale.
name was.
Oh,
Yes.
Oswald Patton.
Oh, I was thinking Elton John, but that's okay.
Oh, my God.
No, but the actor is Nathan Hale, which is pretty close.
Well, he stole Elton's glasses.
Oh, okay. I guess we're not buying that.
No, we're not.
What about that angle?
Oh, my God. It gets
It's
worse.
even worse.
That is Matthew
no.
Roderick under his coat behind him.
He's definitely taking on the Elton John look as Elton John got older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here we go.
Here we go.
Is that him today?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
Yep. That
Wow.
is him.
I
I
guess
guess they were trying to do a spoof on Ferris Bueller's Day Off and putting him in the role as teacher almost with like a disconnected phone. But anyway,
wireless.
that was yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Hell?
We need to talk about your hands. Is that your personal pleasure device in your hand? Is that what I'm looking at?
Well,
What is AI doing?
Well,
It's making
Why?
sex toys is what it's
here
doing. That's
is
what
the
God.
prompt. I'll tell you the prompt. Because I had that library pick, I said a picture of Matthew Roderick in a library. I did not ask for sex toys. I did not ask for...
you got it. You know, these images are generated based on your search history, right?
Well, I didn't...
Ay, ay.
No, that couldn't be it. I've never searched for sex toys. And at the same time, this is the downloadable version of Stable Diffusion.
So it's just looking at your hard drive.
No.
What the hell?
Oh, my God. Well,
It's a very special Ren Fair.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
Ren Fairs would be too obvious, but I had to include it because it gave me two. And I never asked for two of anybody.
Nobody asked for any of this. No.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's very consistent in not making anything that looks remotely like Matthew Roderick.
But they look like each other. Each of the AI Matthew Brodericks do look like each other. Now how about Matthew and Michelle?
That is absolutely a scene from the movie.
There we go.
Yep. And that's about the only way you could get pictures of those two is a scene from the movie.
Yep. Not a lot of overlap in their...
They didn't even cross paths on the red carpet or anything. Oh, well, unless...
Oh, my God, Michelle, why did you get that surgery?
What did you do? The Joker.
Maybe at this dinner we got a picture of them together. At this
Yeah.
function. Black tie function. So, Liza, you said yeah.
No, I didn't say yes. I did not say yes. No. I agree with Scott. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
Why does it keep generating the same fake AI guy?
Yeah, it's the same guy over and over again.
Uh,
Oh
well,
my
here,
God.
once again, I just repeated the same prompt. I did not ask for.
Well, they
add a
repeated
second-
Michelle Pfeiffer too.
Please add another Michelle. I did not say that. And I most certainly did not ask for 3.
Well,
I think it's reading your mind.
I mean, if I had the option, I would request 3 Michelle Pfeiffers, but sadly,
Not 3 AI.
Wait,
ones.
Drew Barrymore is one of those.
yeah. Oh God, you're right. Yeah, the one to the.
They
Oh,
threw
yeah.
in they drew in Drew.
I'm
Also,
seeing-
why
Yeah,
is his forehead getting higher and higher every time?
Yes. Oh yeah, why?
You could sell ad placement on that forehead now.
But yeah, I'm seeing the wedding singer. Yeah. The Drew
Ay.
Barrymore look
Oh
there.
yes. So maybe they try to merge them with Adam Sandler now.
I didn't ask for any of
Why
that.
would they? I don't know.
So now let's focus on Michelle.
That is Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
not hard to do. Not hard to do. And how about her in a
No, hell
library?
no. Hell no.
Good Lord.
She's got that look
No.
like, Matthew, why do you have my sex toy from the prior picture? Bring it back.
Bring back my Bonnie.
Yep, that's definitely Michelle.
Yeah.
Indeed.
A woman who has had the good
that a
sense to
recent-
age. Yeah,
Is this a recent image?
yeah.
Yep.
She has aged remarkably well because she has not had a bunch of damn surgery.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Man.
And she always had magnificent bone structure anyway, so it was like, why would you bother?
I don't know, but some of them do.
Yeah, some of them decide to do the fix a flat lip thing, and that does not go well.
Well, but she already had those lips naturally.
I think surgeons are taking people for a ride here. So, oh yeah, this will make you look younger. Sure, sure. Just selling surgeries. That's what they're doing, and people are. I mean, I've seen some weird looking.
Well,
people
unfortunately, far
before
too
the
many of them are
surgery.
asking for them. You know, the
Right,
surgeons
that's the
don't
problem
have
is you have too
try
many people
hard.
that are locked into I should never age, and that's ridiculous.
But I mean, if you show a photo of Michelle Pfeiffer and it's like, look,
What the hell
Oh
was
my
that?
God!
I'm sorry, Liza was talking. I should wait until she's done.
I think we've all been stunned to
Why
silence
didn't you
after
skip
that.
that one now?
Yeah, you can just go right past
Why not? I mean,
Cat Box Woman.
what is happening here? What is that?
That's an
What
attempt
did
to do
you ask
Catwoman.
for? Aye.
Michelle Pfeiffer as Batwoman. Or
Batwoman.
Catwoman. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did say Catwoman. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Cat Box Woman is what you said, and that.
It put a hand on her foot.
Well, because it removed it from one side and stuck it on her leg.
Yikes. Aye.
Just say no to drugs, kids. This will do.
That's not her.
No, that looks like a airbrush Bo Derek Michelle Pfeiffer crossover.
Yeah, that's a good analysis.
Well, I asked for a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer in Ladyhawke, and
It must be her in the background, and then I don't know who this person is in the foreground. Have you noticed the waterfall of hair in the background?
Aye.
uh,
No.
Oh my God.
What is wrong with Stable Diffusion?
well, I was asking for Michelle Pfeiffer eating dinner. I did not ask for Michelle Pfeiffer feeding Michelle Pfeiffer dinner.
But it.
Apparently,
This is
you
what-
need to rethink your questions.
Yeah, this is what she would look like had she gone under the plastic surgeon knife.
How can I rethink my questions? Michelle
I don't
Pfeiffer
know.
eating dinner. And the reason why I asked that is because we have another eating dinner option here.
Oh yeah, Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
That's
yeah,
right.
that's more
That's
correct.
her from Scarface.
There
Great
we go.
I haven't seen Scarface.
Oh, you need to.
And that's another one with an excellent soundtrack. Ennio Morricone, or Ennio Morricone. Giorgio, God damn it, Giorgio Morricone.
Yeah, it's a crime being Cuban, and I haven't seen it.
Yes, come on.
Well, we've just gotten away with a crime here with our...
Bayona says, "How dare
We-
you, Liza?"
we-
I know.
Yeah, who's this we,
Yeah,
Kimosabe?
who's we you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a good film. I prefer Godfather 2, but it was a good film.
Really?
Yeah, Godfather.
Godfather
Mike.
2.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, I liked one
Maybe
as
it's
well.
really great.
One, but there's something about 2 that I don't know.
It's long.
Well, they all
There's
three
a lot
were,
of
but
flashbacks. I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh well, we're back to this one. We're back to
We're just
Ladyhawke.
gonna kill him
Yeah.
because he cut the whoever the hell this was.
Yeah, but he was kind of being thrown around, and he ended up cutting like one of the. I don't
The
know
head
with
guard.
what.
Yeah,
I don't know with what, but
the knife that he stole from the.
Oh, that's right. He stole that knife. I thought it was change. I thought it was just like a, I don't know, what do you call it? Cylindrical wallet. But anyway, no, it was a knife. And here we go. To save the day. Blonde guy in the sun.
Roy Batty.
Yeah. And, all right. So what's going on here? And, well, it turns out one of the guards recognizes him as Captain Navarre because he was a captain of the guard once. But that's coming up. There's still first a shot fired at him, but he hits a tree, and Navarre does not miss. And so that's how they introduce each other. But he is recognized as Captain Navarre. Man, those blossoms on the tree look nice.
Yeah, those are olive or grape vines. The arbor that he was running around on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mister, we got those.
Yeah. What kind? We got muscadine.
We got
and-
muscadine. We got summer grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully our place will start looking like that. Well, anyway, there we
It
go.
shall.
He tells the kid, get out of here. And there is, I guess, where is it? Francesco basically says, oh, yeah, I recognize you, but I almost killed a guy for lying who said he came back. I didn't think you were that stupid. But mean old guard Marquet, the Captain Marquet, the new captain, basically shoves this guy into his sword. Now, I do admit, after seeing these swords here, when they're holding them out, they didn't look all that great.
So I said they look like wood with aluminum foil put on them.
But anyway, never shove someone into a sword. But anyway, Captain Marquet shoved Francesco into Navarre's sword, and Navarre is upset about that and decides he's gonna,
paddle some panties.
Yep. And the fighting choreography isn't that bad. I mean,
Yeah, there's some where it's a bit. Again, it's 3/4 of the way there. And then there's some fights that are pretty good. This one's kind of a 3/4.
Yeah, well, he lands on a fire and gets his butt burned, and the guards are tending to him and helping him get up. And so Captain Navarre pays his last respects to Francesco.
Oh, well, Captain Navarre has done all that without his sword. He does. That his sword is stuck in that guy, and then he just goes around and like pimp slaps people, and then comes back to get his sword, his short sword.
Oh, I thought he does say goodbye as well. But
right, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the sword might have been a good reason to come back to, because he has some destiny to fulfill. Anyway.
Well, that's not even his real sword. That's just his short walking around sword.
Oh yeah, that's true. It did look. It didn't look the same. That's true.
Yep.
So anyway, there we go. He's about to get up and come after him, and Navarre rides off, and he sees the mouse. Well, no, the mouse is trying to get away, but he can't get a horse to help him out to save his life, so he just runs off on foot, and that's when Navarre sees him as he's running away here behind the hedge, and Navarre comes around the end of the hedge and gives chase. Because, as we'll find out later, he was looking for him. And we'll see why later. But anyway, he picks him up, throws him on the horse. These were hard to get because everything was moving pretty quick.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast scene here.
Yeah. And picks him up, and he's about to ride into a gate that's closing. The guards are closing the gate. And there it is. Closed. What are you going to do about that? Well, yeah, the mouse is not happy about it, but they do leap the gate because, as we'll find out later, it's a special horse named Goliath, and then we get to see the horse's religion.
Matthew Roderick does not see it until later.
Yeah, that is true. And there we are. Made it over the gate, and they're riding off. And these guards are looking at him and thinking about doing something, but they get distracted by the bird.
Yep.
That we often see Navarre. What do you call it? Not carrying, but providing perch to.
Yeah, providing perch. Yep.
So anyway, he let Pierre sit up in the seat behind him, and there they are. They're going through the forest, and then they come across some strange people. As they get into this camp here, the lady's kind of screaming and, well, not really screaming, just making weird noises. I didn't quite understand that.
She's very excited about these attractive young men.
Okay. And she gets her partner, assistant, maybe husband, I don't know.
It's husband.
Yeah, I assume so. But gets him out of his tent.
They're in she's in an open marriage. I'm not sure he's aware of it. He's at least aware enough to get her the hell in the house.
So anyway, sees them. And, of course, Philippe jangles his purse again, says we are not above paying some good people for a place to stay, because otherwise they weren't going to give him a place to stay. But as you see, they are a bizarre-looking couple, especially when we see them walk off. But anyway, they say you get to stay in the barn down there, and in our crouching. Well, they're not in the village, and I think we'll find out why. But he's got an axe, and she's rather chubby. They just kind of start walking away, and he tells her to go into the house. I don't know.
And she keeps looking back at him. Hey, baby, what's up?
Strange folks.
The peasants are revolting.
Yes.
They certainly are.
Yes. Here we are. This is basically where we see that Navarre has hung up his bag, and he's taking out some clothing. And we'll find out later, basically, he's taking out the clothing for a lady that happens to be a bird during the day. But this will be the first night that Philippe gets to spend with him.
You missed a musical cue back there.
Oh, I did?
Yep, it was 8.
Oh, that's right.
Number 8.
All right, I'm loading it up as we speak. At least it's quicker than it used to be. There we go. And still image. But now we see evidence of a regular film score.
Mm-hmm.
Now that sound may be a little strident.
No, this is it's still not good yet. Later it improves.
Sir? Sir, are you there? If there's nothing else I can do, I think I'll turn in.
You can take care of my horse.
All right. I just wanted to include that because it was such exciting music.
Yeah, I think so. So when it struck me as like a music box kind of sound over the top of it,
Yeah.
right? You know, the high. Does that music box ever show up again in this score?
It does not.
That's what I was thinking. It was like, that was nice. Oh, I'll never see you again. Bye.
I think that same melody does, but it's played on like a classical guitar, which I believe is coming soon. I think it's the same melody, but it's just...
Yeah, it's just bizarre choices.
It might have been that the classical guitars that they hired already recorded, and they're like, oh, we got to get him to play this, but he wasn't available. So it's like, all right, just do it.
Well, or that they're like, okay, this is the first time we're kind of introducing this semi-love theme, and we want it to have again, we want to introduce it in a particular way, and then after that, we can just refer to it, differently. I don't know. Again, it's bizarre the choices that are made in this.
Yeah, because underneath it was pretty natural. And
generic movie score.
Yeah, but here we go. In this case, generic might have been the way to go.
Yes.
Real generic might have been the way to go because this stands out in a bad way.
Yeah,
right.
Horrible. Ay.
Well, anyway, there's Navarre, and he sees that he told him, you can take care of my horse, and Philippe's trying to do it, but he misgenders the horse.
Yes,
and
the fence is taken.
Yes, and it is taken by the horse, and Navarre says, "Go ahead with him. You can get over it." And the horse's name is Goliath. And Philippe tells him, we're going to have a talk about a little guy named David. And then we have this beautiful sunset, and we have another musical cue, and I think this is a good one. If I remember correctly, this is a good one.
Fiona, if you find out, you tell me.
What is Fiona wondering?
I'm confused why they go back and forth using movie scores or 80s music.
Yeah, I don't know either. There was no explanation. The only thing I read was it was controversial.
I'm not sure it was controversial. I think everybody agreed it was a bad idea.
Oh, no. I mean, that could have been arpeggiated on an acoustic guitar or something like that.
Yeah, sir, put down the DX7 and please step away.
Yeah, it's like the synth sounds weren't quite the same as what Tangerine Dream did.
And those sound an awful lot like presets. Like the Here Hit Preset 7 on DX7.
Mm-hmm. And the years, weren't they the same? This was 85.
85.
And I think Legend was 85 too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we got two fantasy films in the same year. That wasn't very common. We had to...
No, in the 80s it was. Early, mid-80s it was.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I loved fantasy, but I didn't feel there was enough coming out. But this one I didn't even know about,
Well, see, that's the problem. It was coming out. It's just some of it you didn't want to see.
Yeah.
Didn't Willow also come out at this time?
Willow is later, 88.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I remember seeing that in the theater. As a kid, I thought it was pretty good. Later, it's like, oh, it's okay.
It was pretty crap in 88. So it was.
Oh man. But anyway, here he is, walking at night, gathering up stuff, and he's complaining about his, doing all these things for Navarre. He's like gathering wood and all this stuff, And he's like, I'm going to get out of here as soon as I can. And in fact, he decides I'm going to just head out now. But something changes his mind. And we do have another musical cue. Hopefully this is a good one. We'll see. I don't remember. It does go back and forth, doesn't it? Between good and not so great. And here we go.
Show no mercy, Pierre. We're not interested in prisoners. Hold your ground, Louis.
Not good.
I'll run ahead and get some help.
The top TV show music.
Yes.
And then this brass stabs at the end. Bum, bum. It's like, what?
Horrible. Horrible.
And then MacGyver pulls up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I mentioned I got a DX7 for Christmas?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, the thing is, it was mixed together, but not, I don't know.
No, it's again, it's terrible.
It wasn't
isn't
mixed.
Yeah.
I guess.
Why would Alan Parsons want credit for this?
So anyway,
that's-
back to the story. Basically, he was being chased by a wolf, and he's kind of scared there, but the real danger is behind him with an axe. I guess, these guys that they're staying with happen to be some axe murderer with a chubby wife. And there he goes. He gets his comeuppance from a wolf. A wolf just happens to be out there. And Pierre, or what's his name? Philippe. Not Pierre. Philippe runs into the house and gets away. He's running from both, really. Gets in there, closes the door. He looks around for Navarre, but Navarre's not there. What's going on? Where'd he go?
Bayona Labyrinth, yeah, 85, 86.
Ooh, and the Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
when did
Labyrinth,
that
I like.
happen?
Although the lady, the
Dark
actress.
Crystal was 84.
Oh yeah, Dark Crystal.
Mr. What
We
kind of
watched that
music?
recently.
I mean, do we get synth stuff in the
Not
Dark
that
Crystal?
we enjoy the sounds that the Skeksis make.
Oh, they're good. Are you not able to hear Liza again?
No.
Oh, hell no.
Oh no!
Oh, this keeps happening.
Ha,
I
ha, ha.
had a feeling she would say something about the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I think the Dark Crystal, yeah, there may be synths in there, but it's not, behold my DX7 presets. There's a little more element, but I mean, you had 80, you had Time Bandits, you had Dragon Slayer, that's 81, 82, you have Conan the
was good.
Barbarian, you have Kroll.
Oh yeah, now that you mention it.
Yes, again, trust me, having lived through it, there were a ton of fantasy movies in that time period.
Well, I lived through it too.
Many of them were sketch. Scott Flash Gordon was 80.
Yeah. So Liza, I don't know why this is not good that I can't hear her. Let me do this. I'm going to switch to this and then back to here. Liza, talk. Let me see if I hear you now.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
No, I see
1,
her
2, 3.
audio thing flashing, but I don't hear her.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Tell Lawrence we
I'm
should
gonna
do
rely
Dark
on
Crystal.
Mike and Jay to tell me when my wife is talking.
Well, Lawrence, your wife has said that we need to do the Dark Crystal, and she's not talking to you anymore until you do so.
Really? But that one, the score, I think it was a stock score. We looked
Was
at
it?
the end of it and we didn't see a credit for a musician at all.
There has to be.
But it is a good film. Interesting story. All right.
See,
there
Bayona agrees with
is
me. We should do
the
Dark
lady.
Crystal.
Yep, Les is right. Bayona agrees, and she's still not going to talk to you until you do it.
I won't be able to hear her if she did.
Well, then you better do Dark Crystal if you want to hear her again.
Okay, but it can't be tonight. We're still in the middle of Ladyhawke.
Always with the excuses with you.
There we go. So,
Liza, I tried. You can't talk reason to him.
No.
I don't have slides. All right, so
Well, it'll move much faster.
I am trying to do this properly. All right, here we are on 2. Okay, yeah. So we see a lady there dressed in black. What's going on here? And he's surprised to see her. What the hell? But she's pretty, so that's kind of like something to deal
Yes,
with.
she is.
Kind of looking at each other. I forget what he was saying, and I forget what she was saying, but just something like there was a wolf out there, and she's like, really? And he's scared, but she's saying, just stay where you are. Don't go out. But he doesn't listen. He runs
No,
out.
he stays there. He's like, I'm having a dream. Maybe I'm awake, but I'm asleep, but I'm this and that, whatever. And then you just hear her say, yes, you're dreaming.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then he goes up to get a better vantage point on the roof or something.
Or he goes to hide in a hayloft.
Yeah. Oh, that's a hayloft. I didn't know what it was. It seemed like an open air roof. So he goes and he looks and he sees this lady approaching the wolf, and it's no big deal. Yeah. Doesn't get attacked.
All is well.
There must be something special about her in the wolf. Now, I think that was a good scene. I don't remember all the music. If there was music during that, but I didn't do a musical clip, so I don't think it was all that bad. There we have one
Number
here.
11.
Number 11. Don't worry.
And,
Psyche owns you once again. Trevor Jones scored The Dark Crystal and Excalibur.
Really?
Yes.
Excalibur had. Oh, wow.
Me and her must have been looking it up at the same time. Trevor Jones.
Trevor Jones.
I hear you now.
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's committed to the Dark Crystal.
Exactly. Now that you've
Yeah.
recognized the error of your ways,
Yes.
she's willing to talk to you again.
And another movie I have to see.
Oh.
Tell me it's a good one.
Oh,
Dark
it's good.
Crystal's
Mike.
good,
It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's puppets, and
I saw that.
It's good, Mike.
I
it
like
is.
puppets.
I think they're Jim Henson puppets.
I
right?
grew
They
up
are.
on
It was a Jim
Sesame
Henson
Street.
movie.
Yeah, and the thing is, the story can be appreciated by adults, though. It's just some of it, is kind of kid-like, but
There's Kermit the Frog in
the
it.
worst thing is the Chamberlain, because he's like all the time.
Well, all these Skeksis are like that.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, we're about to play something here. I don't know if this is. Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When does the good music come in?
When we watch The Dark Crystal.
Yeah. I guess Dark Crystal would be good for Christmas or something. So anyway, there we go.
No, you promised the Star Wars special for
Yeah,
Christmas.
but that's just going to be 1 week. That's going to be.
Oh, I think I have an illness coming on during that week. I have seen the Christmas special. I saw it when it aired.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, we've seen it a few times since then, because it's a good way to get a laugh, But man,
there is.
I don't know. I was upset throughout. I didn't laugh at it at first. It was upsetting, but then, I guess you can laugh at it later after you've cried. It was horrible.
They're intense.
I mean, I think it's
This is
very
a
important
Star Wars
for us.
Christmas special.
Yeah, the Star Wars Christmas special.
Well, it's
yeah.
named-
You
the
haven't seen-
holiday special.
Yeah, the Star
Holidays.
Wars
Mike, you
holiday
haven't
special.
seen it. Oh,
You can
my
find it on
goodness.
YouTube for free. Do
Don't
not pay for it.
do it. Do not do it. The only interesting thing in the whole thing is that you find out that Chewbacca's grandfather likes to watch VR porn.
Yes.
Now I don't have to
What?
watch it because I know.
Exactly. Now that you know that lore, you're good. You're fine.
Although, I mean, there's something about seeing the Star Wars Cantina with B. Arthur as bartender singing a song.
Oh no.
A long song.
Harvey Korman, many spots
Yeah, like
in there.
3 different roles.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is. Yes, it's
like-
cancer. It is cancer. That. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Did Liza? Did you see the Dark Crystal sequel that Netflix did?
I have not seen that.
I
Is it any
haven't-
good?
No, I haven't seen it either.
We don't have Netflix.
Mostly, I was like, no, I don't want to see anybody messing with my classic.
Exactly. I'm afraid to watch any sequels of any kind these days.
Yeah.
Can't.
Well, she had a music theory professor that played it for their class, and now it
Yes.
wasn't really about. I don't know if it was music theory. Was that class at the time? Was it?
No, it was a class on aesthetics.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But he went into the depths of it, and
It was brilliant. The
Yeah.
class was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, because there's actually some deep stuff in there. It's just,
Yeah.
the puppets can kind of throw you off a little bit, but
Well, I mean, it is a step that Henson is making towards more and more complex animatronics. The work that they do with Dark Crystal eventually leads you to the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where there's no CG. Everything is puppeted by Henson's group, and it is ludicrous how complex the movements are for the face and things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
all right. So
It's a
we
beautiful
go.
film too. Yeah.
I remember, Henson's the guy that did Yoda in Empire and Return of
Yeah.
the Jedi, with
Yep,
Frank
yeah.
Oz doing the voice.
Beautiful
Can't beat
scenery.
Frank Oz. Yeah.
And I could do some cosplay as Captain Navarre.
No?
So anyway, there he is, looking all cool with his bird, and it's the next day, as we were able to see
A
from
hawk.
Yeah, a hawk. That's true.
It's not just
There
any
we go.
bird.
Yeah, come on, stop being discriminatory. You have someone on the panel, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, we have a hawk on the channel.
Yeah. Hawk
So anyway-
representation matters.
Yes.
That's right.
I guess we could call this a bit of a debriefing, because Philippe's wondering what's going on. There's something magical about this that's not quite right. And, well, he basically asked him what he saw, and Philippe tells him about the woman and the
Couldn't
wolf.
decide
and
if he was
everything.
dreaming or not.
Yeah.
He asked for a
And,
name. What's this woman's name? Why? Well, because if I meet her in my dreams, I'd like to act like I know her and call her by her name.
Yeah, it was a good line. I'm glad that you memorized them. And
Don't worry, it'll slide right out of my brain after this, because this movie, again, it's a 3/4 movie.
okay, so anyway, basically what happens is, they have that little talk, and then there's a musical cue, so you gotta play it.
Prepare for the DX7.
I think this is Spanish guitar, or maybe not Spanish, but a classical guitar in a similar mode. I believe this is where it happens, and this is, I believe, where we get that love theme played properly. So let's see. Let's see if I remember correctly.
There was more. There was a woman, like fine porcelain, with deep blue eyes, almost like a bird's.
Nice bird cue.
And her voice, the dulcet tones of an angel.
She spoke. What did she say?
I asked her if I was dreaming. She said I was. I'm not insane. You must believe me when I tell you these things.
No, I believe you. I believe in dreams.
I see.
This lady, does she perhaps have a name?
Not that she mentioned. Why?
Well, she might wander into my dreams. Wouldn't it be nice if I could call her by name and pretend we met before? I've waited a long time for such a lady. Now get some sleep.
bird will alert us if anyone comes.
There we go. So we have what I would consider to be appropriate music.
Indeed.
Finally.
Well, don't get comfortable.
I'm not.
All right.
The DX7 is waiting to jump us at any moment.
Oh, no.
So that's the end of that scene. Some good lines there and some good music. And that's the end of that set of slides.
Oh,
We are
Fiend.
Fiend?
Yeah, Fiend.
Oh, the end. Okay. That must be a B-sides joke.
Yes, Fiend. We all pray for Fiend. Oh, no.
We pray for a little bit of... No, it's not AI. It's just...
the car might be, but...
I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but below the video, if you like any of those T-shirts, they are... I think everybody watching this are people that heard this speech before, so I don't need to mention that. But also, any likes, subscribes would be greatly appreciated because we are trying... Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, but things have really slowed down as far as YouTube's distributions of, shall we say, the algorithm, and we've been kind of averaging about 1 subscriber per day instead of the 3 that we would need to cross 1,000 by the end of the year. But, you know, any subscription is greatly appreciated, and you'll get notifications about these fine activities, as well as my tutorials and stuff on synthesis. And comments do help the videos get seen. So if you're seeing us and you've lasted this far in the re-rub, please just drop a comment, say hello, how you doing? Tell us if you want to see the dark crystal.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh, Mike does too. Wow.
Yes, of course.
I
Well, he
do.
hasn't
And
seen
I
it yet.
and I also I would also like to say thank you to anyone out there that has subscribed to my channel, because while it's not growing in leaps and bounds, I am up to 96, and I know that's in part because of some of you out there. So thank you. I only got 4 more, and I hit 100.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Mike
1/10 of the way to 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Triple digits, baby.
So anyway, thank you.
Yeah, it's easier once you get to 100 because then the algorithm does distribute you a bit more. I think YouTube tries to make you do your own groundwork to 100. Then it helps a little bit. So yes, Mike Mountain Hawk Gorley, and you can find the link in the description. But you could also type those words.
Eraserhead has been pasting it in.
Yes, he has.
in chat,
Thank you.
Awesome.
Super mod Eraserhead, I might add.
I do greatly appreciate all the help.
Stitch, I like the new. That's a new icon for Stitch, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think that's
Stitch has had it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wrong again. Okay. Okay.
I look forward to next week when Liza's running this thing, and
we should try that one week.
I'm good. Let's go.
Absolutely.
I'll get this
I
straightened
got
out.
my own stuff to
Exactly.
do. Oh man. So anyway, here we go. We have Q11, so let's see if this is going to bad. Oh, it's bad. I think we're going to stop it right there.
Yes, I told you the DX7 was out there waiting for you.
Every time there's a horse, at least there's some consistency there. Every time there's a horse moving, we get that. Oh my gosh. So anyway, that was the horses. Oh yeah, and then the thing is, it's actually a pretty cool sequence here where the horse is going into the castle or the keep and going up causeways and things like that, and then eventually he comes in through the door here. So it was actually some good, visually a good sequence, but then, you, man, yeah, the music. So anyway, Captain Marquet is coming on in, and he comes in bowed, and he sees over here a scene that has some interesting music. This is an example of good music, and so I am going to play it. here briefly. And
Actual
this is-
diegetic music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they had to leave the DX7 out.
I mean, they could have set up, in the courtyard there.
They should have just paid whoever played that to play a little bit more.
I just love the woman that's doing the dancing, and as soon as she sees the guard, it's just like disgust. Everybody's just looking like, who the hell is this come walking in here?
Yeah, interrupting our little performance for the bishop. I don't know what's going on there, man. I thought.
What is she playing?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lute. It doesn't look like a theorbo.
The lute
can't tell
family
what
is
that
pretty
is.
big.
I think it's a cigar
Yeah.
box guitar she's playing.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Well,
There we go.
Yeah.
But
I
at
mean-
least it's fitting to the scene
Yeah.
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, they are doing some things that you're not supposed to be going on in church, I guess. Well, I guess it's just dancing. I don't know. But the bishop's just standing there staring, and so as we will see here from that scene, he turns around and gives a look to the intruder. So Marquet comes in, but actually Marquet has good reason for coming back. Even though the bishop says, "Why are you here? The mouse is not here. You should be looking for him."
Also talks about how filthy he is.
Oh. He has to go outside and look for the mouse. But anyway, Marquet says Navarre is back. And then it's time, to have a little bit of a walk and a talk about this. And I guess this needs to be handled more delicately. So anyway, basically he asks, so you've seen the hawk. Now, Marquet has not seen the hawk, but he's seen the wolf. And he's seen the rider in black, and he doesn't know the story, but the audience is getting a little bit of story here. So, yes, the bishop knows of Navarre as well as the hawk.
And is this the scene where the bishop tells him that the hawk must not be harmed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This
The hawk
is
must not be harmed, and but you are going to get the wolf. I don't think he wants the wolf dead either. I think he wants them both alive.
He is
But
good
in any
at
case,
sinister.
He's looking at his
Yeah.
courtyard.
Yeah.
I can't
And there
believe
we
this
go.
is the
We're
same
back
guy
in the-
from.
Oh, and I see that
Avengers.
Lawrence can't hear Liza again.
What did she say?
Oh no! What is
see,
going
last
on with
time-
your system?
I think it's when he plays music and then for some reason it's either set some way. I don't know.
Here, let me do this.
How dare you?
Okay, Liza, speak. Liza?
Liza.
Liza?
Oh, now for a moment I couldn't hear him.
Nobody hears her now, right?
I hear.
I hear her just fine.
Evie Marks, we gotta figure this out.
This is how it all starts out.
Oh, no.
No.
All right, so people tell me, since I can't hear her, what should I do?
Breakfast in bed would be a good start.
Yeah.
Oh, I
well,
like
again,
that.
it's time for Liza to take over. We can all hear her.
Yes. Yes. Next week I shall be the I shall be the queen
So
of
anyway,
earworms next
all I can
week.
do is go forward.
Yeah, Liza, go ahead and mute Lawrence. We don't need to hear anything he has to say as you're taking over. Come on.
Okay. Her audio animation has stopped, so I guess I can go forward. But you could convey anything that she was saying. I mean,
Look, I don't know why I have to be the couples therapist, but I am not. I'll do it. That's fine. All right.
all right. I guess I have no choice but to just proceed. So what the hell's going on in this film? I don't know. He's out in the woods, and yeah, I think he wants to get away from this stuff. He's kind of getting tired of the weirdness of it. Oh no, that's right. He's chopping
trying to
wood
chop
with
wood.
a sword. Yeah. No, he does eventually want to go away, but he's chopping wood with a sword, which is pretty silly. And that's where he gets stopped, and then he gets told what this sword is about, and basically describes all the gemstones in it and where they're from, and there's a space for another gemstone. And Felipe says, "No, I didn't steal that." But no. That is a space. It's been there, and it's reserved for, I guess.
It's for him. That's because each one of those gems are like his grandfather did this, his father did this. This blank one is for me. I'm supposed to do something,
and what he's going to do is actually kill a man.
Yeah.
And I guess he's going to get the gemstone from that ring the bishop has.
I can get it from anywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure when he's like pointing it out, he's like, I got this gemstone at Hobby Lobby, this one at Michael's. They're made of genuine plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
Alrighty. Well, this all kind of baffles him, and he's like, "So what's the name of this walking corpse?" And he says, "The Bishop of Aquila." And that makes the mouse a little bit more nervous. He just escaped from there. And that's when he's told that, when he heard those church bells ring, he knew that, I don't know, apparently that had something to do with someone escaping, and maybe it was a signal.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, when I heard that, I knew it was my destiny to meet up with you, because you've escaped the dungeons of Aquila, and I need to sneak in, because
which means we can get back in. He's like, no, I'm not interested in that.
No, he's not. He doesn't want to do that again. And he's like, you don't look like the type of guy that would kill me if I leave. So, I'm just going to head out. And that's when he actually, in this back and forth,
readjust his understanding of what kind of man he is.
Yes. Because eventually he does try to leave. And that's a sword sticking out of the tree there, which means, no, I would kill you if you left. And so, it's okay. So, you need me to collect wood for the fire? And that's basically it. He's not going to leave. But we get a moon, and we get some music. Is it good music or not?
It's dark. The DX7s are out.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it might be bad music. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's
I
find
think I
out.
heard a little bit of arpeggiation there. When I cue it up, sometimes it plays a little bit of the music. Little sliver, I think. Oh, yes. Because the moons come out and the Ladyhawke is a lady again. And I think she was hunting for something there.
He was chasing rabbit and catch it.
She did a better job than I would have. I could never catch rabbit.
I defy you to run down and catch a rabbit by hand.
I think once I was able to catch a pet rabbit. Well, I guess that would be a bunny then, not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of help, though.
But anyway, there we are. Felipe's tied to a tree, and she notices him. So he asks her to untie it. And, with a little bit of coaxing, he eventually gets her to... I mean, she's not totally trusting him. She's figuring
Well,
that,
it's because he's lying off his ass.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of men, the bishop's men. Why didn't they kill you? It's a good question.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Why didn't they kill you? No, well, But she figures, well, he's probably harmless, so she does untie him. But she turns around because she hears the wolf call, and but when she turns around again, he's gone. And we'll find out that, he wasn't tied up there by the bishop. He was tied up there by Navarre, and Navarre wanted him to stay put. And so we will now hear some more music. Is it good I don't remember.
No.
Oh, it's actually
No.
part good.
No.
Good morning.
I hear you again, at least.
Let's go find Philippe.
Oh. Okay.
Except for that.
The last part was pretty good.
Yeah.
No, the burn.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
That was good.
well, I mean, it's better than the Yamaha playing the fake high chord thing.
I think they should have just let the Hawk sing.
Well, we had strings underneath it. I thought that stuff was pretty cool. I don't
Yes, unfortunately, it was what they were laying up over the top of it that was a problem.
Yeah, but anyway, he gets caught. He just got untied and he gets caught already.
He should have run away.
But anyway, I hear Liza again. I guess it's only after I play. I mean, after I play videos, I don't hear her, and then I do after I play the next one. I don't know.
That's why I said it's something to do with the way you're playing the audio or something, and it's cutting her out and then bringing her back in.
There's no special way of doing it, man.
I don't know,
Press
but
the play button.
it is very specifically Liza.
Evie Muggs doesn't like me.
So anyway, there he is when he gets caught, and he's getting jerked around again. And now this time they want to know where Navarre is. So it's not just kill on sight. It's let's see if we can track down Navarre by using this guy. He said, "Oh, Navarre rode south. Rider in black. Yes, he rode south." And they said, "Okay, so we're going to go north." Or whatever. They're just going the opposite direction of wherever.
Well, except that he then says, well, why do you immediately assume I'm lying or this and that, whatever? And they kind of look at him and they're going, yeah, so let's go south. And then he says, why, Lord, I mean, I told the truth. What's going on?
Yeah.
How can I learn any lessons if you keep making it so confusing?
Well,
we had a musical cue.
I know. And I think we're here.
Oh, no. Bye, Liza. It's nice listening to you.
No.
I hear her. There we go. So I don't know why I played that. I guess because I consider it to be okay.
I mean, it was different.
Not great. Not bad.
Wasn't a Yamaha.
I wonder if Andrew Powell's going to see this someday. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. We're out in this kind of villagey situation, and that's where things get wicked. The guards are basically laying a trap because they feel they're going to find Navarre. They're getting ready to snipe away, but the mouse rouses the attention. He bites one of the guards, and Navarre hears the commotion, sets free Ladyhawke, and then he's going to go ride and deal with the situation. So they didn't get their snipe, but they did drop the mouse on the ground. There we go. So anyway, so it was a good job by the mouse. And so now they're going to go out and try to fight like men with Navarre, and that doesn't really go so great. What they end up having to do in this big old battle is eventually play music.
Yes.
And so here we go. Here's 18. I think this is, let me see. I believe this is our last musical cue. So this is, oh no, there's one more after this. But anyway, here we go. 18. Good or bad? We should take wagers on this, whether people think it's going to be
always
good.
bet on bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
MacGyver is getting ready, fighting the bad guys now.
Yeah, if you hear, it's just making a half-hearted attempt. Like when the hawk got hit, you didn't really hear anything musically.
No, there's no sudden change. It's still playing MacGyver music, but we will overlay this descending sweep. Okay. Amen.
Yeah, and kind of pay tribute to this moment a little bit. And then
now MacGyver's back, triumphant.
Horrible.
Yeah. So
he made a sword out of toilet paper roll and a 9-volt battery.
Yep. Oh my god, man!
It's like horrible.
The hawk gets hit, and there's nothing for that. Just a little bit of backing off. Yeah, a little backing off on the intensity, like when he sees it, and then all of a sudden it's like back to fighting, like nothing happened. It's just
falling. This is the worst scene of the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is so dissonant to what you're actually seeing and what the emotion is you're supposed to be conveying.
Yeah, it should be very sullen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, this is the end of the fight. Basically, Navarre is kind of victorious, and they run off, and Felipe is concerned about the hawk, and so is Navarre. The composer wasn't, but there we go. And so that's gotta hurt. So we are coming to the end of our session here, folks. This is basically where the good part actually starts.
Yeah.
It actually does. The story really starts kicking in and gets a bit deeper here with the background and everything, but that'll be for next week. At this point, Felipe is basically really wanting to go away. He's tired of this, but Navarre says, no, you are going to take the hawk and you're going to ride ahead with my horse to a castle on a hill. And I forget the name of the guy, but you're going to find a monk there named something. Yeah, it began with an I, kind of like Imperious or something like that. But you're going to meet a monk there, and he'll know what to do. And of course, Felipe doesn't want to do it. He's like, I can't ride that horse. He's like, screw it, you're going to do it. And I guess that's what he needed in his journey, is somebody to tell him, no, you're going to do it.
Yeah, he has to kind of, he's the reluctant hero, but he's forced into it.
Yep. So there we go. He gets on the horse, and we see some beautiful scenes, but I think we are going to end with a little bit of music here, because as we see actually a nice sequence of him riding off with the sword in the dirt and Navarre standing next to it. I guess it's getting too close to the dusk so that Navarre doesn't want to change into a wolf at this moment. So ride ahead, get there to the castle, and the monk will know what to do. And the monk also knows all the background story and will inform us next time what the background is.
With audio cue 19.
That's our last audio cue. Is it a good one?
Nope.
Probably not. This is the blues one, I
have
think.
a feeling we are going to end with a little bit of cop chase music. But let's see. I got to actually pay it to be sure. Did we get cop chase music? Come on, play.
Yes.
Giorgio Moroder tribute.
This is the thing that I remember.
There's something to do with the horse.
This is the worst one.
Liza, can you speak now? Do I hear you?
Liza, speak.
I don't think so. I am speaking.
See the audio animation.
No,
but
he
I don't
doesn't.
hear her.
He doesn't hear.
I don't hear you, but
Yeah.
this is the scene. This is the one that you pointed out, especially as being the most inappropriate one, because I don't know, there's just something about this groove that really got her.
Yeah, again, it's very much like a Giorgio Moroder tribute.
Horrible.
There it is, see? The castle. We'll be there soon. Ah! Well, that's gratitude for you. All right, then. Let this imperious fellow watch you die. I've got my own life to live after.
But he takes it up to the castle. So that was just...
The Hawk is complaining about the music. Is like, can you change the music? Right on
that was some pretty serious hawking right there. I don't think even Mike in his worst days sounds like that.
No.
I don't know.
So anyway, there we go. On this beautiful scene, we shall end for this week. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Stitch, Bayona, Racerhead, I think I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Scott. Oh,
Yeah.
Adam. Many of our regulars came to...
Tom, not Brian.
Oh, Tom, not Brian was there too?
Yeah.
Yes. So, only one more week of this, and this is not going to be a 3-parter. This is a 2-parter, but the story does get better. The music,
Music does not.
No.
Well, not. There's
Only
less frequent
slightly.
instances, I think, in the material that
I
comes up.
think that you're misremembering. It keeps going. It shows up all the time. You know how much horse riding there is in the next half of this movie?
Oh,
anyway.
I'm just glad I was here for the Liza takeover on Dark Crystal.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so...
the people have spoken.
Yes, those of us who were here will hold
unanimous.
our manhoods proud because we were here when Liza took over the Great Revolution.
Yeah, I think we're going to do the Dark Crystal. I think that'll be 1 week, probably. I don't know if that'll take 2 because I think it's a... Oh, shit. Yeah, I guess Jay's going to talk. So that might be...
Oh,
2 weeks.
Liza's going to talk. And by the way, she's going to be running it. Liza, how many episodes do you think the Dark Crystal will be?
We can do it in 1, I think.
Okay, yeah, with your professional hand, I believe that's true. Yeah, that's entirely possible.
I didn't hear her, so...
She said that she could do it in 1. You would clearly do it in 2 or 3.
All right, Liza, can I hear you now?
No, I don't think so.
Shit, I don't know. This is something that's got to get worked out. Fuck. Let me try. Here, just a quick thing, just to try this. Let me do that. No, cancel.
No.
I'm trying to just take her off stage and then put her back on. Does that do it?
No.
No, I still hear nothing. All right. We're going to have to test it this week, the 2 of us. All right. So anyway, folks, thank you for joining us this evening. What do I do next? Oh, yeah, I play a closing thing. Does anybody want to say anything before we leave?
I think the real Ladyhawks were the Yamaha DX7s we met along the way.
Yes.
All right. Well, anyway, folks, thank you for joining us. Next week, we will finish this film. The story's good. We'll see if we can find any. I think I remember there being one good moment in the score, but I don't know. All right, folks. All right. I think it's time for us to
say goodnight.
Yeah, and I think the way I do that is this time I'm going to make sure that when we play the national anthem, we do not have the Ming the Merciless being glorified by the Star Spangled Banner.
What are you talking about? That's my theme song. Come on.
All right, and let me get myself off the screen.
8:56. We are now leaving the air.